Hey, it's Joseph here. Today I've got these two products that I would like to showcase and compare. And they are somewhat similar looking microphones. One from Rode, VideoMic GO II, and then the other one is Comica VM10 Pro. And this is actually an empty box because I've got that product mounted right here, kind of like this. And because you are hearing my voice through this microphone right now, you can basically expect that quality of sound out of this microphone. And I actually picked this one up a couple months ago because I wanted to use it for a podcast microphone for close proximity, as well as being able to monitor, and also use it for a camera mounted option as well. So this one comes in quite versatile because it is capable of outputting sound via 3.5mm cable as well as the USB-C. So it is currently being connected through USB-C port and routed to my computer. Therefore, it is actually recording through OBS on my computer, and that's where you are hearing the sound from. And my camera over there is a bit far and it has a microphone on it, but because the microphone is a bit far away, you do hear a little bit of echo in the room. So it is really good to have a microphone that is quite close to the sound source. In this case is my mouth, and you would not be able to hear a lot of room sound. So that was basically the setup that I was going for. In a moment, I'll actually monitor the sound with the headset as well, but I did want to go over a couple of those features that I'm currently utilizing. And here on the box, it says 2-year warranty, highly directional. That means that the microphone is going to pick up the sound that is pointing to, which is my mouth in this case, whereas the other sound that is coming from elsewhere, it is going to be able to not completely isolate, but it is going to be much more silent compared to the sound that it is currently pointing to. And it does have 3.5mm TRS output, and then also the digital USB output. In this case is the USB-C port, and it is iPhone and Android. You can connect to those devices with USB Type-C, and it should be recognized as a microphone as well. It is really versatile in the way that it can either connect to DSLR or a computer or your phone as well. And that's the reason why I picked up this microphone, and it was available for about $99, which was not that expensive for a good quality microphone. And I like the fact that you don't have to have an internal battery that you need to keep up with. I don't like microphones that has a switch where I need to be concerned of a battery potentially running out, and I don't have to rely on XLR cables and phantom power. So this is a route that I chose to go down, and it is fairly small setup as well. I just need a boom arm, and I can just mount it on here, and I can easily just move it out of the way if I need to. And next contender that I'll be basically comparing this microphone to is Comica VM10 Pro. And actually this product I was sent by Comica to showcase, and when I heard about this product I was quite excited because this has all the feature that this one has, but in a more compact manner. Perhaps it has a couple of its advantages. So I would like to just kind of compare and show you how these microphones are working for me. And on the front of the box, you can see the microphone as well as the shock mount, and it is meant for a smartphone as well as your camera, and mini cardioid digital shotgun microphone. And actually I have showcased a couple of Comica products in my channel before, so I'm happy to showcase another one here. And on the side it shows the cardioid pickup pattern, so it is isolating sound that are coming from either behind the microphone or from the sides. It does have a little bit of bubble to the side, so it does have that shape in front of the microphone. On the other side it does say it is capable of doing both digital and analog, and it does note a couple of features: cardioid pattern, accurate sound pickup, digital analog output mode switch, universal for camera and smartphones, stepless gain control with the preamp in digital mode, and support real-time monitor in digital mode, and no power driven plug and play, basically the things that I have explained before. Professional shock mount, effective shock absorption, full metal material, super shielding. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and pop it open. Okay, inside the box, we can see a carrying case, which is very nice. In comparison, the other microphone that I'm using did not have one. And you can see the shock mount that is over here. You've got the common cold shoe thread along with the 1/4 20 tripod mount that will come in handy when I am mounting onto the boom arm like that. And it is a double mounting system. And it does have this dead cat for the wind isolation. I don't think I'll be using windscreen today, so I'll just leave that at that. And it does have a bit of paperwork for the quick start guide type of thing. And then the other included accessories are the USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, so you can connect the microphone, and also cable that is leading from TRS to TRS, so it's probably meant for smartphones. And the other cable is TRS to TRS, so this is probably meant for your DSLR cameras. So this is a 4-pole to 3-pole design, whereas this is 3-pole to 3-pole. So both types are included. So pretty typical stuff in terms of what kind of accessories that are included in the box, but the carrying case is definitely a nice addition. And as to the actual microphone part, I like the subtle orangeness of Comica's product. You've got a dial, physical dial here, so you can just rotate that to change volume. It's kind of hard to see where I am at because it doesn't really have an arrow, but this is the plus most direction. And then you can flip either digital or analog. So there's that switch, and I'm not sure what this is, perhaps an LED indicator. And the front looks like this with a slight grill on it to pick up the sound, as well as the one on the side. And then to the side, you've got USB Type-C port, which says D out, digital out is what I'm guessing what that means. And then here is an analog out, which is a 3.5mm cable port. And as the picture was showing, I can basically mount this in the center like this, just push it in and it is just going to clip on there. There's a little notch there for you to have that correctly configured. So that was fairly simple. So let me go ahead and do a bit of a sound test of this microphone compared to the Comica VM10 Pro. All right, so here is a setup that I just kind of put together to do a fair comparison. This is a Rode VideoMic GO II that's been set up on a mini extending tripod so that it can just stay about 3 inches away from my mouth. And it is currently being connected via USB-C port onto my computer so that it picks up the sound via OBS. And I am monitoring the sound as well through the headphone jack that's available on the side of this microphone. And what you're hearing right now is basically the raw sound out of this microphone, as I typically don't edit the sounds. I just adjust the gain to match to the rest of the video. Rode does offer you a software control, which is Rode Central, and you can see that I can have the microphone updated with different type of firmwares, and I can either add a bit of padding, and if I take it out, it's going to be really loud, so I'm just going to adjust the gain for you there. And at the padding back on, input level can be adjusted, and the gain could go up and down. And I can also control the HPF. I'm not a sound expert, so I don't exactly know what happens whilst I'm clicking on these. So you may hear a little bit of difference in, as well as a high frequency boost can be turned on and off there. And I can also decide to have the direct monitoring on or off. I can also additionally control the monitoring volume by the adjusting knob on my headset here. So I do decrease this down to 50% because sometimes direct monitoring on this microphone is a little bit too hot. There is a bit of a noise that comes into monitoring, not on the actual recording. And I think the microphone is picking up some radio frequency, but I found that the recordings do not contain those noises that I'm hearing in the headset. So that's something that I have experienced, and I think it is caused by the fact that this microphone is not all metal construction, or at least the back of it is plastic. Therefore, it is leaking some radio frequency and picking up and feeding into my monitoring. If I actually cover the back of it, all of that radio frequency noise does disappear. So I think it has to do with the casing of it, which may improve on the other microphone that I'm about to try out. All right, now I have switched over to Comica VM10 Pro, and you might have noticed that I'm speaking quite close to it right now because it's not apparently as sensitive as the other microphone that I was trying. So let me pull it closer so that I can at least not lean forward as much. And because I knew that I was going to speak quite close to it, I went ahead and added the windscreen so that I don't have those plosives popping the sound. So I am literally touching it at this point. So I have to kind of speak very close to it if I were to. I can definitely increase the volume in the post as well. However, that is going to introduce more noise. So I just wanted to report to you that this microphone is just not as sensitive, and I am able to monitor my sound. However, it is not as loud or sensitive as the other microphone that I was just showing you. I do have the gain dial all the way up, so it is at its max, and I can certainly reduce it back down to 0. And as I do that, the volume is going to start decreasing. It is a stepless dial, therefore it is not going to click or anything like that. And because the knob is a little bit small, it's kind of hard to turn, but it definitely works. And that knob only works when you have things connected via USB-C and when you are in the digital mode. So something that you need to remember to do is that when you're using it with a USB-C port, then you do have to turn it on as a digital mode. And by the way, because you are meant to use these microphones with your phone, I'm using the cable that was included in the box to connect to my phone, and once I do that, I can start to hear and monitor the sound as well. I can actually go ahead and record it with a easy voice recorder that I have on my Android, and I can go ahead and start recording. And the sound that you are currently hearing is the sound that is coming through the USB Type-C cable into my phone, and this is what Comica VM10 Pro sounds like recording through my phone. And again, this is a digital output, and it seems that the overall gain is just fine, so you can certainly record this way. But also because it offers you two different cables for you to use either for camera or the phone. Let's use this cable over here, one that is going from TRS to TRRS, and then I can just connect this to the back of the microphone, lose the USB Type-C port. Granted, in this analog mode, the sound monitoring will not work, but you can use this microphone with the analog mode. So I have to switch the microphone onto analog mode, and it's gonna start picking up the sound. Let me go ahead and hit the record button. All right, I do little taps there just to make sure that the sound is being picked up with the microphone versus the microphone on the phone. So the sound that you are currently hearing is being recorded onto my phone via analog signal that is coming from this microphone, and this is what it sounds like. Based on my testing, the analog mode was a lot more sensitive than the digital mode, so I suppose this has a good bassy sound as well. So you can certainly use the analog mode recording through your computer as well. And just for the sake of comparison, let me go ahead and mount the Rode VideoMic GO II and actually have it compared for you. Now, using the same USB-C cable, which was not included in the box for Rode VideoMic GO II, and I'm connecting it to my phone as well as the monitoring sound. And immediately after I connect these two ports, I'm starting to hear the sound or monitor the sound on my headset as well. And now I can go ahead and start the recording. So this is a sound that is coming from Rode VideoMic GO II, and it is being recorded onto my phone, and this is the sound that you can expect out of it. It might be a little too hot. You can see the red line that is appearing on my recording, so I'm going to back up a little bit. So this is a sound that you are hearing through the Rode VideoMic GO II, and it is being recorded onto my phone via digital and USB-C cable. And this is a sound that you can expect out of it. And this was the one and only cable that was included in the box with this microphone, and it is both TRS, so it is not going to work with my phone. So I do need the help of another brand's microphone, which is TRRS onto TRS. You can get that cable off of Rode as well, but you do have to pay for it. And now you're starting to hear the sound that is coming out of this microphone, and it is being recorded in the analog mode via the TRS cable that I have connected to my phone, and this is what it sounds like. And it is definitely hotter than the other microphone, and I am certainly peaking out in certain points, so let me just back out a little bit just so that I have a bit more distance. It is about a foot away from the tip of the microphone, and this is what it sounds like. I may do some gain changes to match overall volume, but this is what it sounds like. All right, with that out of the way, let's do the third type of testing, which is now onto the camera. In this mode, I would expect about the same sound quality that you heard on the analog mode recording on the phone, but for the sake of testing, let's go ahead and do that. So now I am using this cable that was included in the box for Rode VideoMic GO II. So now you're seeing me through this camera as well as hearing me through Rode VideoMic Go that has been mounted onto this camera. And both the camera and the microphone is in about arm's length. Therefore, it is more of a vlogging type of setup. And this is a sound that you can expect out of this setup. So how does it sound like? Microphone testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a Rode VideoMic GO II into a Canon EOS M6 Mark II. Now that we have tested, let's go ahead and switch out to the next microphone. And in this case, of the 3 cables that were included in the box, I have to use TRS to TRS cable over here that has black ends on both sides. Connect one end to the camera and the other end onto the microphone. I can actually take off the wind muff at this point, and I can just turn on the recording. All right, so now the image that you're seeing is being recorded on this camera that is about arm's length away, as well as the microphone. And this one is Comica VM10 Pro, and the sound that you're currently hearing is being recorded through it. And the gain knob, from what I understand, is not going to have any difference even if I turn it, because the gain knob does not work in the analog mode. But I need to make sure that the switch doesn't get bumped onto the digital mode, because if I do, then you would not hear any of the sound. So that is something that you might want to look out for. But in the digital mode, you can change the gain dynamically, so that is definitely gonna come in handy. All right, so I'm back to this initial setup of sort of a podcasting. I do recommend getting some sort of pop filter to this microphone so that you can speak quite close to it, but you don't want this furry thing in front of your face. So let me do that. Alright, so here's a foam pop filter that I have put on just to avoid plosives and speaking close to the microphone. And it was a similar microphone size, therefore it fits perfectly and I can speak quite close to it without worrying about the plosives. And I have this boom arm that is reaching out and the USB Type-C cable connected to my computer and monitoring the sound via the monitoring port behind this microphone. I can certainly adjust the gain using the knob over here, but I am currently maxed out because I feel that this microphone isn't as sensitive as I would like it to be. Therefore, I may be adjusting the overall gain on the recording software or in the edit for me to boost the volume. So this video was set out to be comparing these two microphones. And Rode VideoMic GO II is something that I actually have purchased because I wanted that versatility of recording sound via USB Type-C port onto my computer, as well as recording sound onto my camera using the mic port on its side. And I have to say that it has served its purpose quite well. And using its Rode Central software to fine-tune a couple of things on the microphone, it made it really easy for podcast purposes. However, it did not have any hardware gain control. But the biggest problem that I had with this microphone is the fact that I started hearing radio frequency noise through the monitoring headset. I think it has to do with material that is being made out of plastic. If I cover the back of the microphone, I actually hear much less of the radio frequency. So I'm kind of guessing it has to do with the back, but I would never know. In the meanwhile, this microphone was sent by Comica, and actually it has this hardware gain control, therefore you can actively change that and you are able to hear the difference in the monitoring. And this microphone also has a versatility of being able to use USB Type-C port for digital recording and using the microphone jack for analog recording through your camera as well. So this basically does everything in a, I guess, relatively smaller package. So I suppose the biggest gripe is the fact that it's not as sensitive as I would like it to be. However, that can be addressed in the post or through the recording software. And overall, Rode VideoMic Go is $99 and Comica VM10 Pro is currently available at $52 US. So it is the half of this price. So I suppose you can go either way. They are both great microphone. I think if you need a bit more sensitivity for your recordings, then you might want to go this route. But if you want to enjoy this level of sound quality at half of its price, then you have this microphone from Comica VM10 Pro. So with that, I hope you have found this content to be useful. If it did, then please like this video and consider subscribing to my channel to continue watching these type of videos. And thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next time. Bye.